Okay, so here's the deal. Have you ever guys had the problem where you go to the grocery store and you buy stuff, or you make a list and you buy stuff with the intention of like making certain things throughout the week, and then you get the groceries and then you put them away and then you completely forget why you bought the groceries in the first place or what you have on hand? I have a bunch of freezer stuff too that I have like for, I guess, just in case it scenario, but then like I also don't know what's in my freezer either. And then it's a whole thing. It's a, what would you call that? Like an endless cycle, over and over and over again. Grocery store, buying, forgetting, grocery store. And then it's like your food's going bad, or you have things in the freezer that have been there forever, or like you buy the same thing that you already have because you didn't know that you bought it in the first place. This has been like a problem for me for I don't even know how long. It's been such a big problem for me. But I kind of have an idea of how to fix that now for the first time ever. I did already kind of like start this process, but then never finish it. So now I have an actual like genuine idea of how I do want to fix it. So that's what we're going to do. So come with me and let's see if we can figure this out. Okay, so we're in my kitchen. And this is what I've made before, is I had these like little like magnets and I used them as like a dry erase board. And it's just not something that I keep up. And then I even made like all these refrigerator magnets so that I could just like magnet stuff on here instead of like writing it and erasing it, because like the dry erase, I mean, you can kind of see right there, the dry erase part doesn't really like work super good, and it's just not something that, it just didn't work for me, and so I stopped doing it. But now I kind of have a better idea. So what I really need to do is I need to figure out all the stuff that I have in my freezer and the refrigerator, and then I'm gonna try and make something a little bit better than what I already have. So I'm just going to improve the system that I started in the first place. And I don't think I'm going to use the magnets are just kind of a, I may just throw those away. But we will see. So yeah, stay tuned. Okay, so here's my refrigerator. And I don't have like too much. I always had trouble like with the sauces and stuff like that because there's just obviously so many different sauces all the time. And then I don't know a good way of organizing everything either. But what I'm going to do right now is I just want to go through and like log the things that I do have so that I don't forget about random stuff that we have. So I'm just going to do that real quick, but this is my refrigerator. I don't like how it's organized, like at all. Just because it's just not, it's not very helpful. And I don't know. I have been moving things around lately, but it still isn't like exactly what I want, so we'll see. Okay, so here is my freezer. And it's a drawer freezer, so I feel like it's really hard to organize. It's just, I don't know how else it is going to be, but it's basically looks stuff to the gills all the time, and I don't want that either. But I don't know what else I'm supposed to do with this kind of thing. It's just, it is what it is. But I think I can do a little bit better, maybe. I'm sure. But yeah, we're gonna go through everything and just kind of log what I have so that I can do something better, because there's just so much stuff in here and I have no idea. I don't even remember what's in here at this point. Okay, so I had every intention of taking a notebook and writing everything down, and I've done that in the past. And with working in your refrigerator, especially like trying to like log all the things you have, opening up your refrigerator and taking everything out and putting everything back in is just such a like time hog. And you really kind of have like, you know, my refrigerator was already beeping and stuff like that, and like letting things sit out for too long, especially when it comes to your freezer. Like, you just don't want your freezer to be open that long. It was so much better for me to I just took my my phone camera and recorded a video, and I'll show you right here, But I just took everything out while videotaping and kind of just said it out loud to the camera so that I could make a list here. So now I can just sit here and make a list of all the things that I have. That way, like, you can go through your refrigerator super fast because you're just like holding it up and putting it back. And then that way you can reference your video like on your phone and like pause it and go and make a list in your own time instead of like trying to hustle and do it. Like writing everything down as you're taking it out and putting it back and stuff like that. It's such a pain in the ass. This way, it took me 4 minutes to do my refrigerator and 4 minutes to go through my freezer. And I didn't really take anything out except the freezer I did have to do a little bit. But for the most part, I just lifted everything up and then put it back down. So if you're thinking about doing this at home for whatever reason or like reorganizing your thing, taking a video and just like talking to yourself through the videos so that you can do it, so you can make a list outside your refrigerator is just so much better. It's so much easier, and then you don't have that time crunch of like taking things out of your refrigerator and putting them back. So it was just so much easier. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take that idea that I did for the laundry log that I made, and I'm just going to make an additional kitchen one, and I'm going to kind of use like the system I already kind of built, but then I'm going to do it in like one sheet, like a little printout sheet that I did, and then that way I can use that as a dry erase board because that's worked for me in the past. And I'm just going to build kind of like an inventory list, I guess, for my refrigerator, and then that way like I know what I have right outside of the refrigerator without actually having to look, and then maybe in the future I can actually like organize things in a certain place and like label certain things for like the sauces and stuff like that. But yeah, right now I'm just going to work on making just kind of like, I guess an inventory is the best way to call it, of what I have in my refrigerator and what I have in my freezer, and then we can organize later on. But this is just an easy way of just knowing what I have first, and then that way like maybe we can even add like a place for leftovers or something. Well, I don't know. We have to figure it out as we go. Okay, so what I did was I just like categorized everything in my fridge, and I made all these different categories to kind of like help me just kind of like label what everything is. So we have sauces, which is just like not maybe like staples. Like I feel like our sauces kind of change over time, so it's just kind of the sauces we currently have. Condiments to me are like staples, so things that I will usually always have. Oh, I forgot to add one thing. I have a squeeze maze and a jar. Okay, so condiments are like more of a staple, so it's things that we always have, which is mayonnaise, ketchup, mustard, pickle relish, kind of caramel, but there's things that I will like typically always have. Same thing with cooking staples. I don't really like to do the box, what are those called? Oh my gosh. So I use bouillon instead of the box stock. I don't like those. I feel like they have a weird specific taste. So I use bouillon powder, and I also have this Better Than bouillon paste. So I have like a bunch of those. Minced garlic, like a little thing of Parmesan, call them garlic and Parmesan, you know. But, you know, so those are my cooking staples. Those are things that are pretty much like they don't really go bad that fast, and I usually typically always have those things. And then cooking ingredients that I bought for a specific reason that do have like more of a shelf life that I do need to use is what I put. And then dairy, produce, protein, bakery is like breads and stuff like that. I usually keep my bread in the fridge. Drinks, I don't really do like too many drinks in this refrigerator because we have another refrigerator, but we have that. And then I have like mixed stuff that I don't really know exactly where to put yet. And then I want to put upcoming recipes and like a ready to eat section, so that way I can put on there like the things that I'm going to make. And then ready to eat is stuff that we've already made, and that is like stuff that like kind of like leftovers, but I don't want to put leftovers because I feel like leftovers can be like a little bit negative, maybe like, oh, those are like things that have been sitting around or whatever. I don't know. That's just what my brain comes up with. So I put ready to eat just to kind of like trick myself into eating stuff. I don't know. I don't know the science behind it, but anyways, I wanted to put ready to eat. So that is that. So this is basically everything that I have in my fridge currently right now at the moment. So we're going to take this information and I'm just going to use it to basically make categories. So this is where it's going to get a little tricky for me because I do have to kind of make something. And it's okay if it doesn't work out exactly the way I need to the first time because we can redo it, and that's the whole idea. But with my laundry log, I mark it up every single day. So I don't really have like I just have spaces for things and then I write them in, which would mean that I would have to write all these little like sauces and condiments and stuff like that. I would have to write out in like I have these X-Acto markers. X-Acto markers, is that what they're called? You know, like dry erase markers. I have like really fine ones to help me write on something like this. But I'm starting to think that like some of these things are like in my refrigerator all the time. And I wouldn't want, if I put them on a sheet in dry erase marker, sometimes like things just get erased and then you'd have to rewrite them and stuff like that. So I'm trying to think of maybe a different, maybe instead of doing it like the laundry where I write everything in for the most part, like all the information that comes in, because like laundry is like a continuing cycle. All I'm doing is writing down dates of when I last washed something, blah blah blah. And so that's something like I update every day, and it's nice to see the last time I washed something, you know. So that makes sense to have everything written in like a erasable thing. But for a refrigerator, I don't want, I guess, all the information to be erasable. But there is stuff like produce and meat and stuff like that that's going to be like changing. So there is parts where I'm going to need to write in information. And so like I'm thinking this is going to have to be a little bit more I don't even know. It's gonna be different, so I guess we're just gonna have to figure it out because I'm not gonna be able to think it all the way through. So this is my laundry log, and I'm just gonna change it into a fridge inventory. This may take me a while, so I'm gonna make it as painless for you as possible. The last part also was kind of time consuming, so we're just gonna try and do this as easy peasy as possible. So I'm gonna take my notes from there and I'm just gonna make 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, 8, 9, 11 categories, which is kind of a lot. So I might have to do this in a couple of sheets, but so far we are gonna just try and get it done. So the colors are also gonna matter too. So I feel like dairy is always blue, so we're gonna do dairy. Oh, and I can do like a grocery list too. So maybe like, okay, so we're gonna put dairy there, and protein. I have sauces, condiments. We'll change these. I just like how everything's spaced in this one. Like I kind of already like trialed and errored my laundry log, so I know like everything's kind of spaced out nicely, at least for writing. Sauces, condiments. Ooh. And so I know I can just kind of not have to like make something completely new. We can do green as produce, and I can do cooking staples here. Staples, Oh, yeah. Okay, I got my this cooking staples. I probably will have to make this, the title, smaller and everything else a little bit bigger because there's so much more. There's so much more to put. So cooking ingredients I need to use. There's so much more information that I need to put on this. I don't have space where I need to use. This is just a long title, so I might have to do it like that. Maybe. Oh, what did I do? What the hell? I have not seen that before. So we're gonna just go. Okay, ingredients need to use. Okay. We already have dairy, we already have produce, protein. I shouldn't make green, that would be weird, huh? Bakery too. So cooking staples. Need to use drinks. Maybe I should actually swap these. So we are gonna put this on this one and this one on here, and we'll change orange to protein. Where did it go? Super weird. Is it behind? Oh yeah, it went behind. Okay, so we need to. Nope, that's not what I want. Layer we are gonna put. That's so weird because it's not in front of this one. So what the hell? There we go. Different. This one's already different. So cooking ingredients need to use, and then we will change this to protein, because protein as an orange makes sense to me. And then we also have, okay, sauces and condiments and cooking staples are a lot. And yes, and then we have dairy and produce, which I'll probably write in. I'll probably have like 2% milk and almond milk. And then we have bakery, which I need to add. Produce I already have. So sauces I have, condiments I have, cooking staples I have, cooking ingredients need to use have, dairy have, produce have, protein has, so we're at bakery. So I'm just going to, let's see if I can kind of like get this whole thing. Right? Group, and then we're gonna plus. Let's see how many space already. Ungroup, and then we're gonna change this to, what was I doing? Bakery. We're gonna make this brown. A cute brown. What is a cute brown? I don't even see brown. I think brown is like, you can make it in any color. Okay. Bakery, drinks, miscellaneous. So I am going to stop right there, and it's conveniently also like where the page breaks here, and we're just gonna focus on entering all the information that I currently have and seeing how that fits. So let me get that done and we'll regroup. Okay, so I could tell that it's really easy for me to kind of get a little carried away with making this a little bit more organized than it needs to be. So I just typed in the things that I would most likely have for a while, and then hold on, I found a mistake. Let's fix that real quick. I don't know why this has a dash, but anyways, I kind of wrote in like all these things that I wouldn't necessarily want to handwrite with a dry erase marker. But then like for like the dairy and stuff like that, I left a little space for me to just kind of make notes on like how many sticks of butter I have, or how many of this, or how many, like usually I'll have like a couple of different like cream cheeses or something like that, or a half block versus like whipped or whatever. So then I left spaces to write in. Same thing with the produce. Produce kind of changes like week to week, day to day. So I just, instead of writing things in like I did up here, I just left blank spaces. Same thing with protein and everything else. So those will be spots that I will be writing in and changing. Everything else is stationary. And I'm just thinking like if we, I'll just like come in and fix it later if one of these things on the top isn't, doesn't apply to me anymore or something like that. And then there's like certain things that I didn't actually get to. So, I had like a small thing of drinks. I don't really keep drinks in this fridge because we have a secondary fridge. So I didn't do that. And then I had some like misc items that are also not on here. And then, I have like upcoming recipes in a ready to eat section that I also wanted to do. But I'm thinking I'm gonna have like a whole separate list for those things anyways. And then the freezer as well. I didn't do the freezer. So there is still more to do. This took me, I think maybe 2 hours max. Probably just like from start to finish, probably 2 hours. And then with the added time of me like having to like edit and stuff this video, I'm just gonna end it here for today, and we will pick up with the secondary thing after the fact. But I wanted to get this kind of like finished, printed, and on my fridge, so that way in my next video I can kind of already start to use this one now, and then I can tweak it as we go, or it'll help me kind of, and it'll inform me for the next one or whatever. But I can kind of like get this one done, and then I can actually use it and see if there's anything I need to tweak or anything like that. So, but yeah, thank you guys so much for doing this with me. It is kind of something I've been interested in a long time, and it's something I've been thinking about. This something I've been thinking about for a long time. Like I said, I had started it with that whole dry erase thing like maybe a year, probably 2 years ago actually, making those magnets and stuff like that, and it just never really was something that I used. And then when I had made that thing for the laundry lag, I know I talk about that a lot, but when I started doing that, it kind of like opened my eyes to where like I could make this as well, because really I just have such a hard time with remembering why I do certain things. I don't know. I really do have like not the best short-term memory, but like also who wants to like remember what's in their refrigerator over like other important things in your life? Like I obviously like I just don't want this taking up space in my brain anyways, and like making things like this just takes all that like added stress or whatever. It just makes my life easy. And so I have been thinking about this for a long time. I'm really excited that I got it done. And so now I'm gonna print it out and I'm gonna put it on my fridge, and then we will pick up from there. But thank you guys so much, and I will show you all of that in the next video. So thank you for hanging out with me today. And like, share, and subscribe if you want to, and if you want to keep doing things with me, because again, like I said, I have ideas and I'm not really good at stuff. And so if you guys want to watch me try and figure things out and try new stuff, like, I'm really not gonna stop. So like I did with the bathroom already, this is like a small step for me to kind of continue on to organizing the rest of my kitchen and stuff like that, because I also want to like learn how to cook better and try all these different recipes and stuff like that. And so it's like me starting off with organizing like my ingredients and my kitchen and stuff like that, and then hopefully we'll get to move forward and we can cook together and we can do all these things. So who knows, this is just like a starting point for me. I have a lot of plans. So if you guys are excited or interested at all, like, come with me. Like, we can hang out and do things, and then hopefully like you seeing me struggle and doing all these things that I'm not good at will also inspire you to do them as well. Because honestly, like, I've been spending way too much of my time thinking about things instead of actually doing them. And so now I want to actually get things done. But thank you for hanging out with me today, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye!